That I am not masking my identities because I've already been thoroughly doxxed, so. Today we fight back against the enemy within reach, one of the many heads of this hydra called tyranny. We cannot stand by as these low-brow thugs monger fear within our community. We cannot allow them to abduct our friends and neighbors, our fellow workers. We cannot allow these fascists to expand the state's ever-growing normalization of extrajudicial brutality. We cannot allow them to operate out of sight and out of mind. We cannot allow anyone to continue life as normal. But we must always remember our true enemy. The heart of this hydra, the common enemy, is and has always been the economic elite, the ultra-rich. It is the very existence of any ruling class and the socio-economic institutions constructed to sustain them. It is the lie that we have ever had any other enemy at all. We say it often, yet easily forget there is no war but class war. We cannot continue to pretend that there is any meaningful difference between economic power and political power. We cannot continue to ignore the obvious centralization of power made inevitable by the simple fact of allowing the wealth of the nation and of our planet to be privately owned and exploited. By any material metric, the rich physically own our planet as their private property. We cannot allow them to gaslight us into believing that we have no choice but to sell to them the very hours of our lives as a mere commodity for them to own. Profit necessitates exploitation. There is no point in claiming that the purpose of a system is to do what it constantly fails to do. The purpose of a system is what it does. We cannot deny the historical reality unfolding before us. Capitalism is antithetical to democracy. All attempts to regulate capitalism have only served as speed bumps on the road to economic elite domination. Capitalism is simply feudalism with extra steps. It's often said that it's easier to imagine the end of the world than it is to imagine the end of capitalism, but remember this, to the peasants of medieval Europe, the divine right of kings to rule must have seemed absolute, natural, and inevitable. I have asked hundreds of people, leftists, liberals, centrists, and even conservatives, if you had the absolute assurance that everyone would rise up together with you, would you stand up to fight back and depose the ruling class? Nearly every single person has answered the same. They will say, of course I would, but every single person says, but no one else would stand up together with me. Let the irony sink in. The entire working class wishes to rise up against our shared oppressors, but we don't. The ruling class has done well to manufacture this culture war that keeps us divided, factionalized, and hyper-individualistic. The working class does not lack awareness of our common enemy. We do not lack conviction. What we lack is trust. We lack hope, the belief that risking our lives is worth it. But we cannot afford to waste time. We only have 30 to 50 years until total global ecological collapse. You must spread class consciousness yourself through simple word of mouth. Tell everyone. Don't stop talking about it. Normalize it at every workplace, every dinner table, every bus stop. Make it known to everyone that we are already united. We simply must, all of us, physically and literally say to every single person we meet or know, will you rise up? You must always bear in mind that direct action is not a place you go. It is not merely a rally nor a protest. Direct action is a decision you make every moment of every day to live and breathe for the revolution. This is our only hope for victory and for survival. The most effective direct action you can take is and will always be to simply talk to people. Normalize radical, anti-capitalist sentiments. Convince others to do the same. To spread the word. Ideas hold more power than any organization or any protest. Every single day you must work to spread dissent like a virus. Do not allow anyone to forget the urgency of the existential threat of capitalism. Do not allow anyone to carry on as normal. Direct their indignance towards the ruling class. Spread the word. Set factionalism aside. Focus on the common cause. The common enemy known by all leftists and felt even by working class liberals and conservatives. We cannot win this fight without their conversion. They are far easier to convert than you might believe. If nothing else, you must try. Nobody said fighting fascism would be easy. We can, in fact, brute force the public discourse to bring the reality of class conflict to the forefront. Do not weakly submit to the culture war our economic overlords have manufactured for us. Fight back in the most effective way possible. Spread the word, spread dissent, spread active participation through simple and infectious conversation. In closing, we cannot hope for heroes to save us. Heroes do not make history. They only inspire us to remember it. The driving force of history is and has always been common people in desperate times. Times have never been more desperate. Spread the word, make it known, weaponize the masses. Now, show me. Show me what community looks like!